WCBI News at 10 starts now.
One man is dead after allegedly entering a Columbus home without permission early Saturday morning. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Selena Schaefer. Columbus police say the incident occurred at around 1 a.m. on 140 Lake Norris Road. When officers arrived, they found the homeowner had been in a physical altercation with an intruder, which led to the intruder being stabbed. According to Lowndes County Coroner Greg Merchant, 21-year-old Deandra Deshawn Tillman was pronounced dead at Baptist Golden Triangle Hospital. The owner of the home apparently stabbed Tillman twice, one stab being lethal, to the upper chest, that is. Early next week, Tillman's body will be taken to Pearl for an autopsy, and the investigation is still ongoing. Well, it was a somber day for the Boonville community. Friends and family gathered to remember the only Prentiss County Sheriff deputy to ever be killed in the line of duty. WCBI's Chad Groening attended today's memorial and has the latest.
They gathered outside the Prentiss County Law Enforcement Complex. And precisely at 11 a.m., a dispatcher broadcast to all members of the law enforcement community on duty.
Attention all Sheriff's Office, Police Departments, and stations. On this date, March 11th, 1999, at approximately 11 a.m., Prentiss County Sheriff's Deputy Michael Dale Highsall was shot and killed in the line of duty as he responded to a 911 disturbance call. We respectfully ask that each of you take a moment to remember this fallen officer.
The flag was lowered to half-staff. They then proceeded to the location of the newly planted magnolia tree.
We've done this ever since March of 2000, soon after I took office, and each year the Highsall family has been very gracious to come and honor us with their presence at this event. And then in May of every year, during the week of Law Enforcement Memorial Week, we do another service in honor of Michael also. Michael is the only deputy sheriff that Prentiss County has ever lost in the line of duty.
It's very emotional, and it's very appreciative that the Sheriff's Office remembers my son's death on this date. For this will be the 18th year that he has remembered this, and we planted a tree every year, and it's very appreciative to my family and myself.
And his fellow law enforcement members have gone out of their way to remember Highsall. This wall at the Sheriff's Office is replete with mementos, remembering the 27-year-old deputy who was taken away in the prime of life. Prentiss County Constable Sammy Henderson knew Highsall very well.
Michael started at about the same time in law enforcement and became good friends. He was just a good example of a good Christian law enforcement officer and done his job to the best of his ability, you know. Trying to treat everybody right was, like I said, a good example for everybody.
Is at this intersection of two county roads north of Jumpertown where Deputy Highsall responded to the call. He encountered the suspect, who was reportedly very high on drugs. The suspect fired the fatal shots, killing Deputy Highsall, and later committed suicide.
Michael really wasn't even supposed to be working that day, and he was the juvenile officer for the county and was intended on coming out and doing some things with the juveniles maybe, and they received this call, and Michael responded just to see what he could do to help in the matter.
Chad Groening, WCBI News, Boonville.
Now, the father of the slain deputy says that he believes it is much more dangerous for law enforcement today than it was decades ago when his son was killed. Well, it's now time to turn it over to weather for our first look with meteorologist Alex Puckett. Alex, it's been cold, wet, and rainy. How's it looking for the night?
Well, it looks cold, wet, and rainy for the rest of the night, too, unfortunately, Selena. Again, not everybody's seeing the rain right now. We are seeing some rain back down in the Golden Triangle and points to the south of Highway 82. If you go further to the north, we do have some snow ongoing in portions of Arkansas and in Tennessee. That hasn't started in Mississippi. You notice the pink there. That would maybe indicate some mixed precipitation, but right now that appears to be all rain based on the reports we're getting. But along the Highway 72 corridor here, we could see a few snowflakes mix in as we get into the next hour or so. We don't expect any accumulations with this, though, and certainly no travel issues. So for the rest of the evening, 36 will be your low, and we'll still deal with those showers. Those should end by tomorrow. I have details of your full 7-day forecast coming up in just a few more minutes. Selena?
All right, thanks for the update there, Alex. Well, March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month, and WCBI is teaming up with a pharmacy to help you become aware of the signs and symptoms of the second leading cause of cancer in the United States. Tonight, in part one of a special series, WCBI's Allie Martin introduces us to a survivor with a unique perspective on the disease.
Dr. Sam Pace may be retired, but he's not slowing down. Lately, he's been on a mission to educate Mississippians about the importance of early screening for colon cancer. He was instrumental in developing a specialty license plate that will help fund the 70 by 2020 initiative.
Our goal is to have 70% of Mississippians screened for colon cancer by 2020.
Dr. Pace enlisted Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott to tape public service announcements encouraging people to be screened. Prescott's mother died of colon cancer in 2013. For Dr. Pace, the issue is personal. Back in 2011, when he was a physician at Digestive Health Specialists, he was screened and cancer was discovered.
Well, I was diagnosed on a screening colonoscopy. I had no symptoms, I had no problems. My lab work a month prior to that was completely normal.
As a gastroenterologist, Dr. Pace had performed thousands of colonoscopies. Adults are encouraged to get a colonoscopy when they turn 50. The procedure allows a doctor to examine the colon with a long, flexible tube with a camera and a light at its tip. Dr. Pace was 60 when his cancer was diagnosed. After surgery, chemo, and radiation, he is now cancer-free. He is a living testimony about the importance of colon cancer screening.
I golf, I chase grandkids. Speaking of which, if I hadn't had screening colonoscopy and had not found my colon cancer 6 years ago, I would have missed the birth of 3 grandchildren. We have 6 now, and we're about to have a 7th.
WCBI is partnering with Fred's Pharmacy. You can pick up these free at-home test kits to help detect colon and rectal cancer in its early stages. In Tupelo, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Tomorrow we will have a female survivor story as part of our series on Colon Cancer Awareness Month. Now, coming up after the break, you're going to get a first-hand look at our first ever fishing tournament here in Mississippi. Stay tuned.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Selena Schaefer.
Welcome back. 2 local teams take top honors in the state's first ever high school fishing tournament. West Point High School students Jordan Camp and Matthew Bagwell's catches totaled 13 pounds and 11 ounces. That was enough to win first place. The team of 2 will now advance to the national competition later this summer in Florence, Alabama. The pair competed against 28 other teams of high school age students from across the state and Tennessee. The Fishing League Worldwide organization known as FLW is working with the athletic directors across the state. FLW wants more options for high school students looking for competitive sports.
Keeps the kids occupied, gives them something to do, you know, other than sitting around playing games. And, you know, being outdoors, being in the outdoors, you know, it's just a wonderful sport.
I got some flags here for you. Now, both Jordan Camp and Matthew Bagwell are juniors at West Point High School.
Well, we will have the chance for a little bit of snowflakes mixing in along the Highway 72 corridor in North Mississippi. Don't think we'll have any travel impacts with this. I'll have details on what you can expect coming up on the other side of the break.
Your first alert weather forecast with meteorologist Alex Puckett.
Cool, gray, and sort of wet out there for the rest of the evening. Temperatures right now in the 30s area wide. We'll go ahead and take a look at the Alpha Insurance Skycam here in Columbus. Still some moisture left on the camera lens here. And again, we're still seeing some light drizzle here and there along and south of Highway 82. Expect that rain to continue through the rest of the evening. We will see the chance for a few snowflakes to mix in the extreme northern portion of the viewing area. We're talking about basically Corinth, Boonville, and Iuka here as far as the chance for any snowflakes mixing in. But accumulation seems very unlikely as the ground will be wet and on the warmer side of things. As we get to about 3 a.m. a.m., those snow chances drop off as that moisture pushes south, but the cold air is going to stay up to the north. So here's what we're talking about for the rest of the evening. Within the next 15 to 30 minutes, maybe the next hour or so, we'll see the chance for a little bit of snow to mix in. Corinth, Boonville, and Iuka is basically where we're talking about here, and points off to the north and east. But again, the main issue going to be in Tennessee today is the snow threat just really not going to work out here. Again, maybe one or two spots get lucky enough to see a little bit of a dusting on some grassy surfaces for a couple of hours in the morning, but after that, that's going to be it. No travel impacts from this setup in any way, shape, or form. The reason is the road temperatures are just going to be too high. Everybody's staying above freezing with these road temperatures, so no issues with that. Now, we will see a freeze for basically those same areas, basically from Boonville, New Albany, maybe even Oxford and points to the north. Again, a freeze likely in those areas, but widespread frost for the rest of the area. Some spots seeing some widespread frost. Once you get south of Highway 82, a little bit more sporadic and patchy with the frost, but again, certainly an issue for some of those flowers and sensitive plants that are already blooming. Now, as we get into the morning, moisture pushes down to the south, and we'll see some peaks of sunshine as we get through your day on Sunday. It'll be cool, but again, some sun peeking through, and it'll be a nicer day. So here's how Sunday's going to work out. Upper 30s by 8 a.m., right around 50s. You take your lunch break. In the afternoon, we'll top out in the mid-50s, and again, we'll see some sunshine as we get into those afternoon hours. Taking the high temperature city by city, 55 in Tupelo, 53 Pontotoc, 55 in Houston, Bruce, and Water Valley. Mid-50s also for the Golden Triangle, 55 in Starkville and here in the Friendly City, 56 in West Point, 54 in Louisville, 56 will be the high in Macon. West Alabama, mid to upper 50s. In fact, it's possible down in extreme southern Pickens County we might see a 60 on the board. 58 in Aliceville and Reform, 57 in Fayette, 58 in Vernon, 57 in Sullivan. Here's what you can expect for the next 7 days. We'll bring more rain into the forecast for your Monday, and quite chilly as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll see lows below freezing both Tuesday and Wednesday nights. Then back up into the 60s to round out your week next week. We'll bring rain chances on the board as well. Selena?
All righty, the top two teams in the state square off for the 6A title. Only one could win. See the highlights next in sports.
WCDI sports coverage of Mississippi High School State Championships is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center. Advanced medicine, compassionate care.
One final time at the Big House, the #1 team in the state, Olive Branch, going up against #2, the Starkville Lady Yellow Jackets. For the Lady Yellow Jackets, they haven't felt defeat all season long, but Olive Branch will be their toughest test here in the 6A finals. The last time Starkville won the title, head coach Christy Williams was a part of the team. The Lady Jackets looking to bring home their first title since 1992, taking on Maya Taylor, Mississippi State signee. 5-star got it going early for the Lady Conquistadors. Look at that move. State fans are going to be enjoying that for the next 4 years. But Starkville, they would answer that run by Maya Taylor. There's Kelsey Jones in transition with the soft turnaround jumper. Lady Jackets, they take the early lead later on for the Lady Conquistadors. Sarah Carreras gets the ball, lefty jumper for the mid-ranger. But Starkville, it was a game of one response and another. Here's Jariah Covington from deep. That's good. Then it'd be fourth quarter we go. Covington keeps the 3-ball rolling. Look at this one from way downtown. That one looks like a college triple for Jariah. Starkville up by 4 in the fourth, but Olive Branch would answer. Mahogany Wright off the Taylor assist. That'd be one of her 6 assists on the night. She hits the triple. But later on for Starkville, down by 1 to Bria Gandy inside with the and 1 bucket. Jackets up by 1 here late in the fourth. Starkville's Mississippi State's Kobe Jones likes it. But with time winding down, this would be one of 9 steals for Maya Taylor. She would finish with the coast-to-coast layup, and that would seal the game. Olive Branch gets their first state title, defeating Starkville 57-54. That's Starkville's first loss of the year. Here's reaction after the 6A final.
I didn't take it bad like I did last year because actually I came out and gave my all. I'm the only senior, I was a leader, so for my younger teammates, they just have to step up next year and push and come back to the same spot and win it all.
We knew coming in that they wanted to take Starkville out, be the one to say they gave Starkville their only loss of the season, and it would be on the big stage when they did it. So I think that you saw tremendous effort on both sides. And it just turns out that, you know, it's always, you got to have a winner and you got to have a loser. And unfortunately, we were the loser.
This is where we were trying to get to, and we finally did it. It's been a long season. It was a long game, but we finished it, and it's all about finishing. So I'm really excited. I'm glad to share with my teammates.
Let's stick with hunts for title games. Alabama going up against Kentucky in the semis here early on for the Crimson Tide. Jimmy Taylor with the two-hand flush. It'll be a back-and-forth game here early in the second half. But they leave Derek Willis having a picnic in the corner. He drains the triple. The winner of this one heading to the SEC Finals. But Bama responds. Kentucky falls asleep on D. Avery Johnson Jr. makes him pay with the corner triple of his own. Dad loves it. Here for Alabama, keeping it rolling. It's a one-point game. Braxton Key, the freshman, inside with the big board in the finish. It'd be a one-point game with under 5 to go. But Kentucky's got some pretty good freshmen of their own. Look at De'Aaron Fox putting the big man on the ISO and the soft kiss off the glass. Kentucky goes on to win 79-74. Will get a shot at the third straight SEC title. The future looks bright for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now let's take a look at who Kentucky's going to be playing. Arkansas, the Razorbacks meeting Kentucky yet again in the SEC Championship. They defeat a very hot Vanderbilt team 76-62. This is the same Arkansas team that beat Ole Miss by 1 point yesterday. So, hey, Ole Miss fans, I know it's a tough loss, but eventually going up against a team that's going to be battling Kentucky for the SEC crown. And we'll have those highlights coming up tomorrow on WCBI Sports. That game's at 1 p.m. And also with all this Selection Sunday going on, that's coming up tomorrow, the men's NCAA tournament. You can be a part of the March Madness with the WCBI Sports crew. Go to our website, WCBI.com, and register for WCBI Bracketology. We're also doing a bracket for the women's a challenge for the women's bracket, and that selection show will be on Monday, of course. Winners for both of those brackets will come away with some pretty cool prizes. Go and check them out on our website, WCBI.com. Let's head to the Diamond. Ole Miss actually got on the field to play some baseball this rainy Saturday. We'll talk Diamond action next in sports. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us here on WCBI Sports. The Ole Miss Rebels got back to work on the diamond today after David Parkinson threw a gem on the mound last night for the Rebels to blank the Furman Purple Paladins. Day 2 offered another chance. Brady Fiegel on the mound for the Rebels. Boy, he had himself a ball game. We're going to get to Brady in a minute, but first, run support. Redshirt sophomore Michael Fitzsimmons absolutely tattoos one to left. Sayonara, that's going to bring home Colby Bortles and Fitzsimmons. Rebels, they lead 2-0. Then it'd be Fiegel throwing the Saturday sauce in this one. 1 K, another K. He would strike out 10 batters in this one, only allowing 3 hits and 8 shutout innings. Heck of a pitching weekend for the Rebels. Here, more run support. Fitzsimmons shoots one through the 5-hole of the third baseman. That brings home Tate Blackman. Fitzsimmons had himself a nice ball game in this one. The Rebels blank the Purple Paladins yet again. They win 5-0.